Hi everyone, can you hear me? Can you hear me fine? Still energized after the coffee? No, I knew it. The espresso was really amazing, I have to say. I'm here today, I need to make a confession. I thought my presentation was amazing, but then yesterday I came for the rehearsal, I saw all the other and I got really depressed. Clearly, I'm an engineer, everybody else is a UX designer, so this is what you get. So it felt good right at the beginning. So I'm talking today about reimagining customer service. I'm going to talk about a little bit of Gen AI because otherwise it's not sexy enough for you. And I'm going to talk about multimodal interaction. And I hope you don't know what it means because I'm going to explain later. Otherwise, don't spoil it for the others. Couple of words about me. I'm of course Italian. I live in Switzerland, been in Google 10 years. I talk about DevOps, SRE, CI/CD. I don't know if you know what it is. This is also something about the drinks that I like, in case you care. And I've been a developer advocate for the last couple of years. And this is what I'm going to talk about. The first job I started in Google in 2012 was cloud support. I was supporting Compute Engine. And so this is a very dear topic to me. So raise your hand if you ever had a poor customer services in your life. So weird. Raise your hand if you ever been in support, so if you've been on the other side of the phone. Wow, more than I expected, like I would say 15%. That's interesting. So why does it suck? My humble opinion, because when you call, probably you have a problem and you're already unhappy about something. But after you call, it gets worse, right? At least to my experience. Welcome to Simple Bank, please enter your ID. And it's a robot who asks a lot of stupid questions, and you're like, why do you want to know the name of my mom, to help me with my problem? I have a problem, I just want to tell you my problem. You see no empathy, right? And what's the option? You wait 15 minutes, and then a physical human being speaks on the other side. Does it get better? Sometimes, definitely on the empathy side. But to my experience, you need to repeat everything again. Your customer name, your ID, your date of birth, your mom, maiden name, and whatever. And probably it's frustrating also because the person doesn't speak, I don't know, I'm Italian, I speak a broken English. The person is, I don't know, Indian or Japanese, they speak a broken English. We don't understand each other. And you cannot gesture, right? So how can it get worse? So what's not working here, right? Poor communication between humans, poor communication with robots, because guess what? They're stupid, right? They're not really humans. And this is my engineering background. I don't know if you like that. The state doesn't persist. You need to repeat over and over. Sometimes I get passed between the billing person from my internet provider to the technical person, and I need to repeat all over again. It's like, can you just write down my bloody name or my date of birth so I don't need to repeat it to you? I don't know. That's at least my opinion. How can it be different? How can you make it better? So there are a couple of dimensions here. The state persistences is something that I'm going to chase later on with a little demo. But also, how does the user, and this is probably the UX part that you're going to enjoy, hopefully, I don't read your mind, hopefully the most, is how does the user prefer to communicate? Like, let's concentrate on the user, right? A date of birth, date of transaction of something, when you order the credit card, etc. You want to communicate a date. Do you prefer to say it, to type it, or to choose from a date picker? Now I'm a 76, so it's already 46 click, 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 click back, right? Just for me. Plus December is another 11 clicks, because it starts always with January. So that's probably a date picker is not my favorite way, unless I was born 2 years ago. It's probably, I'm not going to use enough if I'm that young. What about an address? I work in Berengasse 25. I was preparing this demo. There was no way to tell an English-speaking machine, Berengasse 25, Zurich. There was no way, also because it looks like my German is not as good as yours, probably. But typing Berengasse 25, I'm a champion. I can type it very well, without the umlaut, because somebody made up the E after the A, which is Berengasse, apparently. Or even better, you find it on a Google Maps app, because you are working at the moment, you tap, share GPS, boom, click, done. Even easier, right? What about your name? I thought my name was normal until I moved to Ireland, realized that nobody spells Riccardo with 2C. I missed a doctor appointment because it was like, oh, you're not in the database. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Search again. No, you're not. I was, just with the wrong name. Or my colleague Christoph, he just, how many of you is not Polish and can write this word? 3 people. Okay, so that's hard, right? My colleague Chris was like, tranquillo, Riccardo, you can call me by surname. And this is a real story, right? From support as well, my colleague Christoph. Credit cards digit, this is, you might know something about credit cards, right? In your app, probably you don't have a problem. I see all your beautiful apps with the credit card is in there, right? But imagine you want to communicate over the phone. Last 4 digits, typing, saying, easy peasy. Communicate 16, 14 digits when you're on a bus, in a public transport in Zurich, and somebody says, I want to know all the digits, like, people might be listening. You know, I don't want to do that. I prefer to tap it, right? What about the auto-completion from a vault? With, you know, like a backhand hook, as we call it. So, again, this is not a sales pitch, so I'm not even going to tell you the name of the product that we have that does this. I'm just going to tell you theoretically and like more generically. Imagine there is an AI platform that has a conversational call with a lot of capabilities, which gives you access to 2 different big use cases, or personas if you want. As a virtual agent, a smart virtual agent, just a robot, or an agent assistant. So something in between the physical agent and the user, which helps. It's like a little gobbo, we say, like the person who suggests there, right? And a lot of insights that you can get later. I'm going to demo all of this, so enough with the blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going to show you some action. I'm going to show you 2 demos and a half, meaning 2 video demo and 1 slide screening. This is the most complicated and probably a bit ugly because I did it. But the last is made by a UX designer, so that's well done. I keep it for last. Here we have a virtual agent hand over to Salesforce, so like a system where you can track your customers' interaction, right? So what are we doing here? It starts with you chatting with the bot. Then the bot does some work, but you're not really happy. At a certain point, you need to bounce to a real person. The real person, hopefully, will keep the state and will know what's going on because it's all persisted, and will be able to also know your satisfaction in real time. Let's see it in action. I don't know if the video is working. Yes. Is it moving? Yes. So here you can see on the left there is the customer, on the right there is the human agent, and there is some magic happening, magic in the air, right? So here you see he said he's happy, and the number jumped from 40 to 95. I took a screenshot in case you didn't see it. And the second number from 38 to 57, you see the pixelization, like this is real, right? If it was fake, it would be perfect. So this is a real thing. And you can see the happiness moving from 40 to 95 in real time, and the average from 38 to 57 because it's averaged out over a long time. I hope you're following me. This is another use case in which it says, how can I prevent phishing? Phishing with a typo. And like 10 years ago, a computer would say, well, what is phishing? Does it exist? Oh. And instead now we say, oh, I have an LLM who is reading this. I say, probably he meant phishing. And maybe it's not about going to pick a fish in a lake, right? So he would find something from a knowledge base in sparkasse.at, suggested to the agent in turn can validate and say, yeah, looks legit. Click, share with the customer, and you look smart. But it was the bot job to do it. And this is, as an engineer, this made me jiggle all the time, or giggle, however you pronounce it, I don't know. This is really something I love. There is a lot of stuff happening here. Summarization, 10 minutes conversation, summarized by a machine, by an LLM, large language model, into a Twitter-like thing. This is something, imagine you need to read the 20,000 iteration from yesterday. They're all like a single line or 2 lines, amazing. The conversation spotlight, the customer sentiment, positive or negative based on the color, because we have the number that I showed you before, so you know I'm not bullshitting you. Then this is my favorite, entity extraction. Imagine we are Lufthansa, for example. We want to capture the flight number that you're interested into, right? Or your flight ID, the 5 digits from Amadeus. Or you are a bank, you want to know the credit card number or the customer ID or the last 4 digits, whatever. You can extract them and put them in a DB. How cool is that? 20 phone calls, 20 numbers, or 20 numbers for every column that you care about. How cool is that? You can also classify the topic. To me, this is really, there's something I'm really passionate about. Now, you could ask yourself, this is amazing, but we need a physical agent, right? What if we remove the physical agent altogether and we just try with a virtual agent? It's going to suck, right? Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try with some Gen AI. Now, this thing on the left is something I created in 3 minutes. and I'm not joking. Then Natalia asked me to change the name of the bank, so I changed it from Let's the Bank to Symbol Bank, and that took me 20 seconds, because I had to change the motto, which I had to Bard. Bard, what is a nice motto for Symbol Bank? And again, you can tweak temperature, token limit, etc. This is the prompt where I'm telling this fake human how to interact with my user. I also made up this bank account customer ID, which in Dutch, in Italian, is KISS. And then you get one random interaction. And this, every time you do it, it will give you a different output. But you can see, it's saying hello, it's very nice, vielen Dank, ask for the baci, and it says where your money makes a sound investment. Okay, and more importantly, I say, hi, I'm Riccardo, my baci is blah, 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 and you respond, hello, Riccardo, so tokenizes and understands that Riccardo is my name, 2 C's, good bonus point. Thank you for providing your baci. This is serious stuff. That means that the system already knows that I provided it, and it has already parsed it and tokenized it and has it somewhere in a database. If I didn't say, hi, I'm Riccardo, say, yeah, Riccardo, hello, give me your number. And then it would be a different path in this hidden tree of possibilities where you still need to ask me for my ID. Amazing. Now, I'm nearly finished. I'm good. Yeah, I'm okay with time. So this is the last one. This is the one made by a UX designer. I'm going to let you listen for it for 2 minutes, hoping the audio will work. I will shut up, which is hard for an Italian. And I will unpack all the complexity after this. Let me press play. I will shut up. I will take maybe a couple of photos.
Thank you for calling Symbol Bank. I'm your virtual assistant. I'm sending you a link to the Symbol Call Companion, which can make this call more interactive. How can I help you?
Hi, I realized I forgot to add a dinner to the travel insurance claim I submitted last week.
Let me find your claim. Based on your phone number, I see you filed claim number A834927 for your canceled flight to London last week. Is this the one you are referring to?
Yep, that's it.
Great news. This claim has not been filed yet, so I can add the expense. I'll need the name of the restaurant, the date, time, and total amount.
Sure, 1 second.
Take your time. Great. I see you were able to submit the receipt. I understand you ate at Harry's Bar, London, on the 5th of October at 21:05 and spent £32.75, equal to €37.83 on the date of purchase. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I've added this to your claim. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Actually, I need to get some cash. Is there an ATM around here?
I can look that up for you. Where are you located? Got it. There is a branch just 600 meters from you that is open until 1600. Is there anything else I can help you with?
All set, thank you.
Of course. Have a wonderful day.
So a lot of stuff happening here. I hope you got the first, the most important thing happening in the first 2 seconds of this conversation. There was a text sent to my colleague Andrea saying, call companion provides blah, 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 and it gives you a URL. Click on the URL, you get a chat, like a WhatsApp chat. And from that moment, that's where the magic begins. What happens? You're going multimodal. You can speak. Actually, when I did it, it was pretty lame because you're speaking and tapping and speaking and tapping. So, I mean, we can probably get better at that. Maybe we put a collar around the phone so it stays here like a violinist or the philharmonica players. But it's pretty cool because you can, from that moment, decide if you're going to speak to the system or you're going to tap into the system. Tap because maybe you want to write Berengasse or Riccardo, as I said before, or maybe because you want to upload your GPS, your receipt, or share your GPS position, or whatever the mobile phone allows you to do, right? So that was what I mean by multimodal. Finally, last but not least, is the GenAI summary. You might have noticed, Riccardo, it's the 3rd time you say GenAI summary. What's about this summary? I can tell you, our customers love Bard, love LLMs, particularly for summaries because they have a very low probability of hallucinations. So summary is a safe environment where there's very low probability of bullshit being generated, right? Which is why it's so good, it's cheap, and everybody loves something short. Right. Conclusion, particularly my speech, which is going out of time, so I wasn't. Just something for you. This is a Gen AI generated. Uncle Sam is a UX designer, so we need you. We need you to help us build systems that are easy to use. What I was trying to share in this presentation is that context is key, and Gen AI can make a better conversation. Probably you know that already. A multimodal approach, so giving choice to the user, is probably where something that can make their experience a bit better, if of course, if your product allows this. And again, and this is me Googling what is UX, because I don't know, it's not my job. So by Googling it, it looks like UX is not just about web, CSS, buttons, and nice visual effects, but it's also about making things work well and making things that people love to use. And I think I use a phone differently from how my mom or my wife uses it, right? There are power user, command line user, there are UI user, tapping people who use the mouse, and depending on how you use the system, probably it's better to give the user a choice. That's all about it. So this is all by myself. Thanks, this is all about this presentation. Thanks for this. And I'm open to questions. With this.
Riccardo, thank you so much.
Was I on time?
You were perfect. Even on time, in time. So, interesting question online. Are there any use cases that would you say are not suited for conversational interfaces?
Well, I've been observing the half of the day I was here, your amazing apps. I mean, with a conversational AI, you get a lot of value, but you're kind of like in an uncharted territory. You're kind of improvising. You don't know what the input is, you don't know what the output is. But that, I mean, also having like, like a Deutsche Bank app, a Revolut app, like having your app which allows you to do whatever it's designed for. So basically being on Rails, it's the opposite in a way, but has a lot of value as well. So I mean, this is just one thing. When you don't know, I would say, when you don't know what the user is going to ask you, this is a great product or a great technology. When you know exactly and you're very strict about what the user can do, then you design your interface and it's kind of statically defined by the design. And that's what probably everybody in this audience is doing, I guess. So this is kind of like showing you how it can possibly be different in a way, right? Yeah. But I don't know, this is just me improvising, I don't know.
Same. With the introduction of AI, how do you see conversational interfaces evolving in the future?
If I had a Palantir, right? So how do I see this evolving in the future? Well, I believe this is like, Gen AI is is this AI or Gen AI?
I don't know.
Because AI has been there for 40 years. I've done in my thesis when I was young.
Let's say, what do you see in the future for?
Well, I think the quality is going to increase a lot. I remember my Italian friend said something very interesting about we are probably going to move from content creator to model managers. I think that kind of resonates with me as well. Like people who know how to do stuff will start contributing to the quality of the output of Gen AI generated content, whether it's an image or text, etc. It's it's weird. I mean, the quality of what Gen AI produces is strictly depending on the quality of the sources of it. So human beings will still be curators of it, in my opinion. I presume they will increase, they will become better, and we will live with them every day, I believe, but I don't know. Again, ask me the question again in a year.
For sure. Then let's take some questions from the audience. Who wants to know what? Yes, please.
Thank you. Would the person know that it's a virtual assistant because it was very human-like? And would there be a fallback to go to a human assistant?
So the answer to first part of your question, yes, definitely. Like, I mean, the system is designed to tell you, hey, this is a virtual assistant. If you get confused about this virtual, then it means we did a good job, right? The fallback to physical assistant is something that we do. When I was talking to product managers of this product called Dialogflow, I was hearing that at the moment, we're not at the point where physical agents disappear completely. We consider a bank, because we work a lot with banks, to do a good job if the machine is able to take 30, 40% of the traffic. This is just a money thing, right? It's how much money is your dev team going to spend to implement and train this part versus how much money are you spending on support, right? 30% means you cut 30% on the cost on human personnel, but you need to spend this one-off into training the system, which can take a few months, right? So it's a balance. And then you perfect it, but you spend another 6 months to move the 30 to 35 or to, like it's, at a certain point, it doesn't make sense to go up again. So I presume we're not there yet for human to be completely scraped off. It's something we try to get to, but I guess we will not be there anytime soon. That's my idea. Don't know if did I answer your question? Maybe I misunderstood. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like when you can say, I'm not satisfied, I would like to talk to a physical operator. There is a code called transfer intent, where the system is very well capable, because this is like the default thing happens, like, I'm not happy, give me a physical operator. And they know what you're asking, and at the moment, there is always a person down there. It will just say, wait 15 minutes or 5 seconds or whatever is needed. So this possibility is always there at the moment. So yes.
Let's take one last question over there, please. That's okay.
So as I said, today, from what I heard just in a corridor chat in Zurich, because this thing is developed, there are a lot of developers in my office. It would be 30% managed by the bot, 70% moved to the operator, where this number is calculated on this 30% is when the user doesn't call you within a week time. So we consider a user satisfied if they don't call you again tomorrow. If they call you again tomorrow, even if they put down with the robot, we think they're not satisfied. Whereas if they don't call you for 7 days in a row, we say, probably we solved the problem. Because again, how do you know we solved your problem? Like, you need to use some heuristics to calculate that. Okay,
do you have any internal KPI, what you would like to achieve, like 100% or 50%?
Oh yeah,
would be great?
Yeah, that would be amazing. There is a new product that came just last week, where all the interaction with the user is a single prompt, which can delegate to other prompts, sub-parts of it. So you could say, oh, I want to book a flight. Then delegate to another prompt. So it's like a navigation through multi-linked prompt. I think that is the answer. So I have a feeling that in a year time or in 2 years time, we will be there. But today, no. Today is like return to the future flying cars. They're 100%. That's my opinion.
Thank you so much.
There.
Riccardo, thank you so much.
Absolutely.